this whole issue on spending and getting to a balanced budget and doing it honestly and directly is one of the main reasons that I decided to run for the United States Senate. I'm actually really excited about this. This is things I think traditional career politicians run from. This is what I'm running to. So in business, the things I enjoy the most are when you get these big, audacious problems and you have to sit down and solve them. And so I agree with Brad when he's saying this is where we need a new culture in Washington. And he says we need to be careful who we're sending to the Senate. I agree with that. So let's talk about that honestly. What does that mean? Why do you really think everyone keeps running away from this? Why isn't it addressed? It's not politically expedient, right? It's people who have a sense of self-preservation is what the problem is that they'll say one thing when they're politicking, when they get to Washington, the Senate leader starts putting their foot on their throat. Then they change how they're going to vote. Because they contact their polls, and their polls say, hey, if I take this position on these things that are sensitive, I may not get elected to office. And that's why I say now more than ever, we need to elect people who are business people, who are literally running because we see the country's at a tipping point. That's what I see. It's a tipping point. And I see that politicians are unwilling or unable, but mainly unwilling, at a sense of self-preservation to go do what needs to be done, this hard thing. Have you ever been in a room before where there's, we call the big elephant in the room? Everyone knew there was something going on and nobody would talk about it? That's this. My experience in business is this is fun. Because the way you go at it is you just honestly sit down with everyone. They already know the elephants in the room. Your 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, they know there's a problem. And it makes everyone feel more anxiety and get more nervous that no one's doing anything about it. If we just sit down and come up with a plan of how this is going to be privatized and changed over a 20, 30, 40-year period, and let people know, hey, this is honestly what that means for you people in your 20s. Here's what it honestly means for people in the 30s. Here's what it means for people in your 40s. And just put pen to paper, I think we'd be shocked at how willing the younger generation is going to be to get on board, just for the fact that they already see that we're saddled with generational debt. To see that we at least have the courage, the chutzpah, to get in and actually seriously solve this problem. I will just say this. Politicians aren't going to do it. If you think electing more politicians is going to give you a different result than what you've already had by getting politicians, it's literally the definition of insanity.